Hi, my name is Kathryn Budig and I am a self-professed arm balance addict. So I'd like to share my love of these postures with you today by showing really simple ways to help these seemingly impossible postures become accessible to you. So let's have a block and a strap handy for the sequence, and we're going to begin on our backs. So go ahead and lie down. And we'll begin with Konasana legs, soles of the feet together, opening up the knees. And if this is strenuous at all on the inner thighs, just start in a Shavasana position with the legs wide. Okay, arms next to the body, palms up. So you're already just opening up, creating some space here. Go and close the eyes, relax the mouth, and just take a moment to stop before you begin. Check in for all the good stuff that's already going on. Start to let go of anything that doesn't serve you. And then finding that place of balance. Keep filling it up, breath in and out through the nose. And then blink the eyes open. Close the legs. Hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze, stretching out your lower back. And then keeping the knees bent, drop the knees over to the right, spinal twist. Take the arms out to the side. So elongating through the top side of the torso, rooting both of the shoulders down into the mat. Taking that top hip, slight extension. And then inhale first, exhale, lift up, and switch sides. So rooting the up shoulder down into the mat. If there's any kind of strain in your neck, you can just keep it a little tuck of the chin. Good. And inhale, exhale, lift up. Come back into that first position. So soles of the feet together, knees wide, Konasana. This time, you're going to interlace the fingers behind your head. So we're going to start to wake up the stomach because there's a lot of core work that comes along with arm balancing. So keeping a slight scoop of your tailbone, soles of the feet pressing, hover your feet just a few inches up off of the mat. You're going to keep the legs suspending there the entire time, and then you're going to curl up. So inhale, exhale, lift, head, shoulder blades up, and then lower back down onto the ground, but legs stay up. Again, curl up, exhale, and back down. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, back down. So that's 4. Exhale. And down. Feet stay pushed. Exhale, 5. Soles of the feet together. Good. And down. Exhale, little tuck of the chin. Lift up through the heart. And down. Last 4. Exhale, scooping through the tailbone. And down. Exhale, elbows stay wide. Collarbone open. And release. Last 2. Exhale, gaze towards the toes, press the feet together. Last 1. Exhale, lift up. And release. Let that go. So immediately we have that awareness in the core, and we're going to keep that as we continue on through our postures. So close the knees, hug them into your chest, roll yourself all the way up to sit. And we're going to press onto all fours. We're going to take some cat's breath, cat and cow. So coming onto all fours, hips stack over the knees and feet are hip width apart. Shoulders stacked directly over the wrists. So start by surrendering your belly. Drop the navel, lift the heart. Inhale, take the gaze up and forward. And then you're going to round. Exhale. She's going to press into my hand and lift through her intercostal muscles, those guys in your ribs. Okay? And then inhale, drop. Look forward, surrender. And then exhale, press into the mat, round. This is Bakasana. This is crow pose in your back. Again, drop it. Inhale, pull the heart forward. And here comes the arm balance part. Exhale, press, round. This is what makes you light on your arms. And then come back to a flat back. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up, press back, downward facing dog. Good. So tops of the thighs, press back. Shin bones, press back. Go for all of that space. Clear out through the neck, even on all 4 sides. Plenty of space from where your earlobes and the beginning of your shoulders are. And then from here, let's shift forward into plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists. One long line of energy. Shoulders, hips, and heels all together. And imagine a weight on your back. So if I were to press down on your back, you could resist using your stomach to pull that together. Then keeping the gaze forward. Inhale. If you need to drop your knees, that's fine. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway. Now from your tummy, press straight arms. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. If that's too intense, do this with knees on the mat. So again, shift into plank, inhale. Imagine that weight on your back, resist it, so it's coming from the core. Take an inhale, look forward, chaturanga, exhale, and come all the way down onto your tummy. Good. Interlace the fingers behind your back. If your shoulders are tight, you can grab onto a strap. Squeeze the arms and root through the outer hips. Start to press down into the tummy to lift up through the chest. Good. A little tuck of the chin so you don't take it into the base of the neck. And then release all the way down. Place the palms flat next to your ribs. Baby Cobra pose here. So inhale, slight lift up, just tiny, so you can still pick your hands up off of the mat and hold it. Good. And exhale, release. Again, small Cobra, inhale, a little bit higher, start to root into the heels of your hands, activate your quads, press your toenails into the mat, outer ankle squeeze in, and exhale, release. Good. Now this is optional. You can either go back to child's pose, or you can take it through plank pose. So a little bit stronger variation, you're gonna curl your toes under, lift the kneecaps up, engage the quads, engage your tummy, look forward, squeeze the elbows in, shoulders up, all the way up to plank pose, and pull it back, downward facing dog. Good. And walk your hands all the way back to meet your feet. And just let yourself dangle over the legs. Take a few breaths. You can sway side to side. You can sway from heel to toe. Hold on to the elbows, let the arms dangle. Good. And then releasing the arms. Slight bend in the knees. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to stand. Good. And let's come to the front of the mat. Okay, so we're going to take two sun salutation A, Surya Namaskara A, hands together at your heart. Inhale, arms reach straight up. And exhale, open the arms wide, forward fold. Inhale, extend through the heart, keep the shoulder heads back. First one, step to plank pose. Keep the gaze forward, hug the elbows in, chaturanga, exhale. Cobra pose or up dog, inhale, lift. And downward facing dog, exhale, stretch it back. Good. So keep the rib cage firming in towards the spine as you equally extend through both sides of the lower back. All of that space in the upper body, lengthen the neck. Then take the gaze forward to your hands. Either step or hop forward, exhale. Inhale, straight legs extend. Keep all of that length, exhale, fold. And reach the arms wide, come all the way up to stand. And hands pull together at your heart, samastitihi, a state of bliss and joy. Again, open it up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, lead through the sternum. Inhale, pull the heart away from the belly button, keep your gaze forward, step or jump right back, chaturanga. Exhale, cobra or up dog, smile the collarbone open, and downward facing dog, exhale, stretch it back. Okay, so from here, you're gonna shorten the stance of your downward facing dog just a touch, a few inches or so. We're going to lift the right leg up. So we're going to warm up the hip flexor, and we're going to learn how to start to use our intercostals and round the upper back to prepare for a crow pose. So inhale, exhale, bend the knee. Take your knee to the outer edge of your right arm. Shift your shoulders over your wrist, just a little tap, and then pull it back, downward facing dog. Now start to go higher. Inhale, reach it for your armpit, go way up. Breathe into your intercostals and pull it back, downward facing dog. We're using the hip flexor here. Again, pull it in nice and tight for the armpit. Round, push the ground away, and downward facing dog. Pull it back. Good, set the foot back down onto the mat to release. Okay, left leg up. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Bend the knee, tap the outer edge of the arm, and downward facing dog. Good. Again, go for the armpit nice and high. Get it away from the ground. Heel to the bottom. That's hip flexor pulling it in, and downward facing dog. One more time. Pull it in nice and tight. Up the arm. Round through your upper back, and downward facing dog, pull it back, and set it down. Good. Take the gaze forward to your hands. You can either step forward or a light hop to meet your hands. Inhale, extend through the chest, forward fold, exhale. Separate your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. We're gonna come all the way down into a squat malasana, garland pose. Okay, you have the option to spin the heels in and the toes out as well. Give yourself space here, and you work the triceps to the inner edges of the knees, and then spread through the collarbone by pressing the triceps into the legs. You're gonna keep the left hand at your heart, take the right arm straight up, and open up the chest. It turns into a twist. If this is plenty, stay with the hand at the heart. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, rotate the palms in, and you can wrap this. Bend the elbows, and bend that bottom one as well to reach around and clasp the hands. Now, if you have difficulty, grab your strap. You can hold onto a strap here as well. Then lean the chest back, smile the collarbone open. Good. Come back to center. Hands together at your heart. Good. And we'll reverse. Left arm reaches straight up. Open up your chest. Again, if this is plenty, melt the base of the neck, revolve through the ribs. A little bit more. Internally rotate the arm, bend the elbow, Bend the bottom. Get out of the way. Grab the hands here and start to lean it back. Spread through the collarbone, heart blossoms open, tips of the shoulder blades press in. Then come back to center, hands together at your heart. Place your hands down onto the ground and forward fold. Release. Toe heel the feet all the way together. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step back or jump, chaturanga. Good. Up dog, big lift, inhale, and downward facing dog. Exhale. Look forward to your hands, hop or step to sit. Good, okay. We're gonna take the legs out in front of us, Marichasana C. So keeping the left leg straight, bend the right knee, place the sole of the foot flat onto the ground. Take the right fingertips behind the tailbone, take the left arm straight up. You'll inhale, root into the hips, sit tall, and then twist, drop that top arm to the outer edge of your thigh, snuggle the tricep in, push into that leg to lift up through the chest to spread the top shoulder back. You can look over the back shoulder. Again, any strain in your neck, look sideways or slight tuck of the chin. Keep this front foot flexed, top of the thigh rooting down into the mat. Good. Then take the gaze forward, release the twist. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, sole the foot flat into the mat, root into the heel, left fingertips behind the tailbone. Inhale, right arm reaches straight up, get tall. You're gonna keep all of that length, then start to pivot and twist. Drop the right arm to the outer edge of the left thigh, push into the leg, and reach the chest open, that's it. Top of the right thigh presses down, foot is flexed. Keep breathing length into the crown of your head and into your heart. Look forward, release, let that go. All right, so what do you say about a little arm balance now? Okay, so we've warmed up the hip flexors. We have the intercostals, they're starting to move and starting to feel strength. So we're gonna start with my personal favorite pose in the world, Bakasana, crow pose. This is the staple of all arm balances, so just keep working this posture. And we're gonna start on a block. So it's a crow pose, it's a bird. This is your little bird perch. So you're gonna step onto your perch, like so, and you're gonna come down into squat, hands to the ground. Good. Now, once you're in your squat, let the knees separate. And you're gonna work your triceps to the inner edges of your knees. Really snuggle them in so you can actually hug your arms with your inner knees. Keep the gaze forward. You'll be tempted to look down. Then start to bend your elbows, lean forward. Just pick up one foot, just one. That may be plenty. If that goes well, keep looking forward. Start to sweep that second foot up. Big toes touch. Can you start to get the inner heels of your toes to touch? That's it, good, good, good. And then see this round in your back? Those are the intercostal muscles. And then one foot back down into the block, other foot, and release. You can take a moment to shake out your wrists, probably not when you're on your perch because that could get kind of dangerous. And then we'll step up off of your perch, remove the block. Okay, so if that presented a good challenge for you, I want you to take another round on the block again. If you're ready to get off of your bird perch and off into the world, we're gonna enter it from a regular squat. So big toes touching, knees together, and then we'll separate them open. Take the arms to the inside of the legs. Start to walk your hands forward and reach your forehead to the ground. So just start to stretch out your back. Keep walking it forward, walking it forward. There you go, good. So there's the round already that we want to find in our Bakasana, in our crow pose. Okay, so from here, work the arms to the inner edges of the knees. Walk your hands in. Take your knees and hug them as far up your arms as you can. She'll start to lift her bottom, keeping her gaze forward. It's more about going forward than up. She's gonna lean towards the fingertips. One foot up. Maybe that second foot lifts. Beautiful, big toes and inner heels touch. And you're lifting here so much that it feels like you could lift your knees up off of your arms. Maybe someday you'll just pop up into a handstand. But that's the kind of space you want to create, really, really, really light. And then just slowly set it down. Beautiful, good, release, shake it out, let that go. So the problem with the arm balances is that we often sit on our arms, and that's why they feel so heavy and uncomfortable. We need to learn to lift and round. Keep pulling yourself up off of the body. Good, okay, downward facing dog. So that was regular Bakasana. We're gonna warm up for a pose called baby Bakasana, slightly smaller, more compact version. So we need to get deeper into the hip flexors again for this one. So lift the right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward to meet your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot, feet are hip width apart, just stay on your fingertips. Start to lower your pelvis until you feel in your body a stretch right at the top part of your left hip flexor. So this is such a crucial area that we use when we arm balance. Not only does it need to be strong, it needs to be open. So we breathe into this area, creating space, pulling the heart forward, lots of space in the chest. And from here, stay on your fingertips. Don't overthink this. Hop switch, right foot back, left foot forward. Boop, there we go, good. It's a little bit of dancing monkey going on. And pull the chest forward, creating some playfulness. Drop your pelvis as low as you need to create some space in the hip flexor. Pull the heart forward, breathe. Good. And one more dancing monkey, hop switch. Good. If you don't like that, you cut it out. Step back to plank pose and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Stretch it back. Good. Take the gaze to your hands, hop forward. Okay, so the same setup. She's going to come all the way down into her squat, just like we want to go into crow pose again. Knees separate. Triceps come to the inner edges of the knees. And this time, the forearms are going to come down onto the ground. Now, you're going to be incredibly interested in this space right in between your thumbs, so much that you want to kiss it. So, without collapsing in your shoulders, you're just going to start to fold the shoulders over the forearms towards the wrist. Lean forward like you want to kiss your thumbs, round to the back, and flick your toes. Baby Bakasana, the smallest arm balance in the world. So it's all this around in the intercostals, squeezing, maybe get those heels together, hug. Good. Back onto the ground, and release. It's small and cute, but not as easy as it looks. So you take a few moments there, release your Baby Bakasana, and step back into downward facing dog. Good. Okay, so we're about to twist it now. We're gonna lead up to side crow. So in the same way that we prepared our hip flexors for Bakasana, we're gonna do the same here. Shorten the stance of your downward facing dog first. Pick your right leg up into the air. Take a big inhale. Bend the knee tight, but this time, right knee towards your left arm. Go across the body, and exhale, pull it back. Good. And then pull it in nice and tight towards that tricep. Don't worry if you touch it. Just pull it into the body and back. Downward facing dog. Now get the heel away from the ground too. Knee in, foot up, away from the ground, and back. Downward facing dog. Set the foot back down onto the mat. This is hard work, but just keep breathing while you're doing this. So pick the left leg up. Big reach. Bend the knee. Reach it to the opposite arm. Don't worry about touching. Pull it back. Downward facing dog. Again, tiny little package. Pull it into the body. And downward facing dog. One more time. Pull it in compact, maybe round. Awesome. Pull it back. Downward facing dog. Set the feet onto the mat. Look forward to your hands. Step or hop forward. Exhale. Inhale. Get long. And exhale. Fold over the legs. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Fierce. Bend your knees. Keep the weight in your heels. Join the hands together at your heart. Swing the left elbow to the right thigh. Push that elbow into the quad. Palms together. And start to spin the chest open. So this shape right here is side crow. Your bottom is just high. And your hands aren't on the ground and your feet are on the ground. But this is where the shape comes from. So really focus on this side chair. This is going to build the posture for you. Come back to center. One breath. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to the heart. Swing it to the other side. Right elbow to the left thigh. This is how we get into side crow. That same snuggling of the tricep muscle down towards the quad. That space in the chest that starts to open up. Firm this hip in. Good. Then come back. Chair pose. Utkatasana. And release. Forward fold, straight legs. Let it go. Take a few breaths. Just surrender here. Good. And then come all the way down into a squat. Okay. So, side crow. It's the same entry you just did. You're smaller. You're closer to the ground. So you're in your squat. And we're going to twist. We're going to take the left arm to the outer edge of the right thigh. Good. And let's have you spin this way. Show you off a little bit. There we go. Good. So really work that tricep to the inner thigh as much as you can towards the hip. Hands are going to be shoulder width apart. Palms are flat. Keep your gaze forward. Now she's going to lean towards chaturanga. Shoulders want to get in line with the elbows. Elbows over the wrists to sweep the feet up. And then pull the feet in line with your knees. Round through the upper back. Maybe push the ground away a little bit. Gorgeous. And set it back down. And release, forward fold. Let that go. Really nice round. Okay. Second and last side. We're going to pivot to the other direction. Well done. Good. So right arm is going to come to the center of the left thigh. Snuggle it in. Hands are shoulder width apart. Fingertips and gaze point forward. Lean forward. Elbows over the wrists. Shoulders in line with the elbows. Make a shelf. Now sweep the feet up in line with the knees. Squeeze the inner thighs. Compact little package. Round. Use your intercostals to lift. Gorgeous. And then set it back down onto the ground. Release. Forward fold. Let it go. So again, if it didn't happen today, do not get discouraged. Everything feels impossible until it's possible. So keep trying these postures. So come all the way down to sit. We're going to take a miniature Bistro Konasana. So just open your legs about mat's width apart. Just a little tiny V, flexing through the feet. And inhale, root into the hips, lift up through the chest. Start to walk your hands forward. If you want to put your forearms onto a block, you can use your block here if that makes life good. Just surrender through the neck. Slow down the breath. Keep the tops of the thighs pressing down. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, walk it back in. We'll remove the block. Bring the legs together. Paschimottanasana, straight leg forward fold. Feet flex. Inhale, root into the hips, lift up through the chest. Exhale, you can grab your strap over the balls of the feet. You can clasp the pinky edges or grab onto the fingertips. And you'll inhale, extend through the chest, get long through the side ribs, and exhale, begin to melt and fold. So you're rooting down through the hips as you extend through the heart. And inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Come onto your backs. The best arm balance of all, Shavasana. It's not really an arm balance. To take rest. So once you get there, big inhale, fill it up. And out through the mouth. Good. Let that go. These poses are playful. Really start to move into that place. Frustration, let it go. You don't need it. Keep this place. Take rest. Shavasana.